Part two. Now we have to start doing what are called the center marks. And the center marks are when we have circular features or holes anyways in our parts. We have to put this cross in. And these crosses happen on things that are also arcs, things like that. By the way, in the section view here, I have these two holes. I know you're probably not going to have those. So we're just going to ignore those holes for dimensioning and stuff like that. My train's from a different generation of parts, and my holes went straight through. You can see mine was made in 2007. I drew this thing. So I'm going to show you how to do these center marks, and also something called the center line, which is right here on this hole for the train stack. So back to our drawings. Okay, so the center mark, I'm in the Annotate tab. Center mark is right here. I'm just going to click on it. I'll do this hole first. You just simply click on the largest diameter hole. So for instance, this is showing threads here. So I'm just going to click on the outside of the threads. And this is the thing that I do before I actually start dimensioning anything. I go through and I put in my center marks because I'm going to dimension to the center marks, okay? I know I have to put one on this also. And then I think that was pretty much it for all of those. Let's just double check. Yeah. Okay, good. Now the other thing I need to do on this view in particular, because I have it happening a couple times. This is a hole that's drilled in, as is this and this, and you a lot of times will have to do this when you have the section view made, as is done in this one. And these are center lines. Now I use this command right here. It's called centerline bisector. And what you do with this is you come out and you click on one of the edges of the hole and the other one. And what it does is it perfectly splits the hole down the middle with a line. And this is useful when we are dimensioning things on our parts. I'm going to show you a couple more things on this drawing, and then we're going to go on from there. So the first thing I want to show you is how to do this whole series of dimensions like this. Also happens over here and down here, not so much up here. Yeah, those three locations really. These, remember, are called baseline dimensions. They go from here to this one, from here to the next one, so on. So I'm going to show you an easy way to get those done. And I'll just zoom in here on the train front view. Okay, so up here next to dimension, you're going to see the word baseline when you come into the software. You're going to hit the little down arrow here, and you're going to click on baseline set. Now, you come out to baseline set, and you just click on that line on the right hand side, because the dimensions in this case are going from right to left. And then you go and you click on the first thing that needs to be dimensioned, which is the center mark, and then the line right here, and then the center mark again, and then the end. Now, once you've got all of those things selected, you're going to right click and say continue, and the dimensions show up. And I'm going to move this down or up if I need to until it highlights, and now the dimensions are spaced apart correctly. I just left clicked there, and I have one more thing I need to do, and that is I need to right click and say create. Now once I do that, I've got that whole bunch of baseline. Instead of having to click 8 times, I just had to click like 4, so it saved me a little bit of time. So that's baseline dimensioning with a set. Okay, and here's the other thing too that's kind of neat about this. If I want to move these dimensions, whoops, I want to do that. Okay, if I want to click and move the dimensions, well, not working for me right now to show you, but this all moves as one piece. Okay, so that gets me those dimensioning types done. Got one more thing to show you. I'll do it on this view on the right hand side. This happens up here, it happens over here. I'm just looking at my original drawing. Happens a couple times. Oh, it happens with a note for down here. We're going to use what's called leader text, and we have used this before. I'm going to do this dimension right here. You see the diameter symbol and then the down arrow. I'm going to actually take care of doing that right now. So I start leader text. I go to the circle. I'll zoom in on it so I can see it. And I'll click on the edge of it and I'll bring it out. And I'm going to left click and then right click and say continue. And that's going to bring up this dialog box. Now, the thing is, I need to put in the diameter symbol. That's the circle with a slash in it. How you do that is you go over to where it says insert symbol right here. I'm going to click on this, and then you locate in this page, or this block anyways, the diameter symbol. I'm going to put that in. Now I'm going to put in my 0.25. And I'll hit enter, and then there's the down pointing arrow, which means depth. I'll put that in also as soon as I find it. There it is, depth 0.5, and I'll say OK. And that is how you make that type of note. You're going to need that note on the drawing for right here. You're going to need it up here also, and I think those are the only spots on this particular drawing. Also, don't forget to put these notes in. The notes are done by simply going to the big letter A for text and then clicking, and then you can type in note. I'm not going to do the whole thing here, and you just say OK, and that will put the entire note in. But you have to put in the entire note. Your job is to make your drawing look like mine. So that's the end of that. Let you get to work on this now.